Oh yeah. Ow. Hey everybody, the Reeswirl here, and welcome back to more of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path. Almost forgot to turn down my volume. Alrighty. Whoosh. Did I turn this down too much? I didn't even read what it said. Do I reload? No, we know where we are. We're in the Autumn Hall. Autumn Exhibit. Autumn Palace. There we go. She said it would only be a 10-minute recess. They sure are taking an awfully long time. Sorry to keep you waiting. Prosecutor DeBest presents Miss Delicia Scones. You see, you called, so here I am. It is I, Delicia Scones, the pharmacist who makes delicious drugs. Well, you can call me Miss Delicious. And you can call me Mr. DeBestest. Of course. Is that meant to be oi or we? Because if it's supposed to be we, isn't it O-I-U? No, O-U-I, even. It doesn't really bloody matter. Nice to meet you, bestie. They've gone straight to nicknames. Huh? That boy reminds me of someone. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's Gregory's son. Yes, nice to meet you, Miley. Oh my god. Could you please not call me Miley? Meeting Greggy's boy. I guess it's a sign that I'm getting old. How old is this woman? She never ages. She's a witch. Oh, of course. Sebastian, isn't there something you'd like to ask Miss Pharmacist? Oh, right, yeah. Miss Delicious, could you tell us the reason why you came to the gallery? Yes, I came to see the curator, Katie. I've been friends with her for 18 years, so I visit her quite often. Is it true, Miss Pharmacist, that you also assisted in the treatment of Mr. Gustavia? I still don't know how the hell to call what the hell to call him. I guess you could say that, although I only made the antidote for the doctor. Wow, you made the antidote on the spot? You see, as long as I have the right ingredients, I can make any drug easily. The infirmary here is well equipped, you see. Instead of sending him to the hospital in critical condition, we treated him right away. I did all I could do. The rest depends on his body's ability to recover. Do you know the victim, Miss Delicious? Yes, although it's been 18 years since I last saw him. I only knew that he had become a world-famous pastry chef. Is the victim that famous? I heard on the news that he had won a competition for designing desserts. That reminds me, I do remember him mentioning something about studying design in Zhangfa. Ah. Yeah, I remember it. Briefly. Now let's get down to business. No. I was gonna start quoting a bloody Disney film. That does start. Let's get down to business. Yeah, it is. I'm really getting off track. Miss Pharmacist. Are you familiar with the drug Megatoxin X? Yes, it's the drug that's used to kill those things. It's mega effective. Because the effects are so potent, it's not available to the general public. What are those things you're referring to? It's a drug for vanquishing the creatures that strike fear into the heart of a lady. The ones that often infest kitchens and the like. Oh, like cockroaches. Ah, I think I know what she's talking about. So, Miss Pharmacist, may I ask you one more thing? Do you know what happens when you mix normalium with fatalium? Yes, I know. It's even written on the warning label for Megatoxin X, hazardous when mixed. When the two drugs are mixed together, a chemical reaction occurs and a gas is released. Inhaling a large amount of this gas can cause breathing difficulties, and even death. From the amount of poison gas Gusty breathed in, I think there was probably at least 500 milliliters of each chemical in the gas. As expected of a pharmacist, she's very well informed. Normalium is an adhesive liquid that becomes hot as soon as heat is applied. It also has a red colour and a minty fragrance. Due to its low cost, it's used everywhere. Fatalium is a white, watery liquid. That's enough for now. As expected of a pharmacist, you're very knowledgeable. Yesy, of course I am. Megatoxin X is one of the chemicals that the company I work for produces. Ooh. Ah, but not just anyone has access to it. It's so potent as a poison that it couldn't be sold to the public after all. Thank you. I think that's all I need to hear. Does Judge Courtney suspect her? What is she hiding behind that smile? Wait, so is this going to be like 2 times that Delicia is suspected of murder? Oh man. Oh, Flatfoot, have you made progress in the investigation or something? Yeah, let me tell you. So the glass cases that contain the sculptures can be opened by a mechanism in the lid. What strange cases. The temperature in the cases can be lowered down to 0 Fahrenheit. Oh, 0 degrees Fahrenheit. The inside of the Pisces case was set to 27 degrees Fahrenheit, so my hand nearly got stuck on the ice. Good thing it didn't. So then, from the lid of the Pisces case, we detected slight traces of normalium. Not bad. Huh? If the normalium was in a glass case at a temperature of 27 degrees Fahrenheit, then it would have been frozen to the lid. Really? So, what happened? Mr. DeBest, why don't we try borrowing the power of K's Little Thief? I think the circumstances will be easier to understand if we use our Mr. Thief. So you really want to help me out that much? Fine. I'm not really sure how this all works, but you, get on with it. I hate being bossed around by this guy, but to arrive at the truth, I'll do it. Fucking cause. Stop acting as you please. The goddess of law has no need of your power. Don't be such a stick in the mud, Courtney Pie. We have approval of the prosecutor in charge, so what's the problem? Could it be there's something the PIC, that's the Prosecutor Investigatorial Council Corporation? I can't remember. She'll probably say it at some point. Doesn't want us to find out. That's none of your concern. If you insist on participating in the investigation, then let me check if you're qualified by asking you a question. What is she planning? Who set off the poison gas? I ask you this. If you can answer me that, I'll allow you to work with us. Well then, Miles. The person who opened the Pisces case and set off the gas. When you think about the circumstances, there's only one person it could have been. Yes, considering the circumstances, it's clear who it was. I love how they don't say, they just make it very vague and obvious. So, please give me your answer. Who set off the poison gas? Who else could it have been? The one person that collapsed. A pastry chef breathed in poison gas and collapsed in front of the Autumn Palace. As I say, who else could it be? There was no one in the Autumn Palace other than the victim, Dane Gustavia. I've got to keep calling him Gustavia and then Gustavia. It's hard to believe it could have been anyone but him. It seems that way. Very well, I'll allow you to participate this time. However, if I feel you are a hindrance, I will have to ask you to leave. Understood. But what I don't understand is why the victim opened that case. Yes, makes no sense. Little thief. So, Mr. Edgeworth, what shall I recreate? Based on the information we've gathered so far, let's recreate the scene before the gas. Got it. God, I forgot the noise that thing makes. I really do like the animation though. It's very nice. Very slick. Don't scare me like that. So, this is the true power of Sir Thief. Wait a minute. Something at the back's changed. Let's investigate the Pisces sculpture post-haste. So, there's frozen normalium on the lid of the Pisces sculpture's glass case. Normalium's red! It's frozen so thick you can't even open the lid. That's why it looked like it was crying. On the actual glass case, the lid was heavily cracked. It was like someone had it out for the Pisces sculpture, sir. Do you have any idea how it came to be cracked like this? Well, the damage didn't seem to have come from outside of the glass case, sir. I see. So, the inside of the case was used below freezing point, and the case had developed cracks. There are no signs of external damage. From this we can deduce below freezing, like Mr. Edgeworth's cold stare, and cracked, like Mr. Edgeworth's furrowed brow. Thermal fracturing, the cold glass case was heated from the outside, causing it to crack. But why did thermal fracturing occur here, and what caused it? We're gonna find that out. Inside the thermally fractured glass case, there was frozen normalium. Oh, that face means you've probably thought of something, Miles. Indeed I have. I know how Mr. Gustavia was able to open the glass case. What? How can you possibly know something I don't? I'd say the things he does know are in the minority. Hey, aren't you going to let me know? How did Dane Gustavia open the glass case? Oh... That traces that it was used before the police arrived. Was it used to heat something? Yes, it was. This gas burner that was found in the Autumn Palace shows signs of recent use. I believe this was the cause of the thermal fracturing in the Pisces Sculptures glass case. A gas burner? Why would he use something like that? Ah, I got it. The lid was frozen shut, so he had to use the burner to melt the ice. Indeed. That is correct. But why? I just had a late start. I'm still the best, you know? Late start? You didn't even understand a single thing, did you? Well, that's just because Mr. Edgeworth's explanation was too hard to follow. Yeah, okay. Sure, buddy. Sure. Okay, why don't you update the little thief so that he can understand it? If you say so. I just realised what Larry's doing. Oh, sorry, Laurice. He's painting. Probably Kay, if I had to guess who. Or Courtney. Or both. If you say so. Right, let's restart the recreation. It's just funny watching Laurice. Larry. It's either or. The victim, Dane Gustavia, was the only one to enter the Autumn Palace. If he used the gas burner then, the normalium in the glass case would have melted. And then? Oh god, that's terrifying. The melted normalium would have come into contact with the fatalium inside the case. Okay, and there we go. And produced the poison gas. The moment Mr. Gustavia opened the lid, he would have begun to inhale the gas. He managed to drag himself out to the Fountain Patio just before his strength ran out. So he inhaled the gas when he opened the lid. It seems he finally understands. That doesn't explain why was there fatalium at the bottom of this. And also, that. But why did Mr. Gustavia open the glass case of the Pisces sculpture? The victim's goal? That I do not yet know. Perhaps he had the same reason as Uncle Ray. Maybe he actually came to see the Winter Palace, not the Autumn one. Uncle Ray also thought that this was the Winter Palace at first. Why, you too, Ray Ray? Actually, I thought so too. It looks just like Icy's room from 18 years ago. It's even got the exact same plants in front of the door. It seems everyone involved with the IS-7 incident made the same mistake. It's imperative that we investigate the real Winter Palace immediately. I should suggest that to Mr. DeBest. I get it now. Yeah, that's how it was. Huh. Did you think of something? I love how his theme is literally just like a child's play theme. The victim committed suicide. He thought he would look refined if he died in an art gallery. Yes, he committed suicide, which is why he decided to run out of the room. Instead of just, you know, taking in the gas and dying. What a fool. Yep. Have you even been listening? Well, if you're as smart as me, just hearing half of the story will be enough. Sebastian, I'll explain it from the top later. Top? That means best, right? Alright, I'll leave it to you. Yes, it would indeed be best to let Judge Courtney handle him. Oh boy. That aside, don't you have some information to inform everyone of? Ah, I totally forgot. What are you talking about? We did a little checking on that pharmacist. We, meaning me, the best prosecutor's subordinate. That's not something to brag about. Shut up, you. Quiet down and listen. Suicide is, off the table for now. Yeah. That's because, in short, that pharmacist is the culprit. She set up the gas as a trap. Oh dear. So this is twice she's been, suspected. No. It's a terrible shame, Miss Pharmacist. How could one in the profession of saving lives stoop to extinguishing them? Huh? Well, what are you saying? I would never do such a thing. Mr. De Best, do you have a basis for these accusations? Of course, this is my basis. Her pharmacist's license. It would permit her to handle Megatoxin X, right? And its active ingredient, Fatalium, was one of the components of the poison gas. Exactly. That chemical is almost impossible for ordinary people to obtain. But that pharmacist is another story altogether. It wasn't me. You've got it all wrong. Oh, I hate how he sounds. Yeah, that's not all. A bottle of Megatoxin X was found in the victim's pocket. And on the bottle, we found clear fingerprints. Yours. Eep? You and the curator took the victim to the infirmary, right? That would have given you the perfect opportunity to plant the bottle on him. That's... Oi, pardon me. You are the only pharmacist on the premises who could have handled Megatoxin X. Furthermore, as a curator of this art gallery, you're an acquaintance of hers. As for the curator, you would have had access to the gallery at any time in order to prepare the poison gas trap. Please wait, that Megatoxin X, it was stolen. You gonna slam it down? Trying to lie your way out of this won't go well with me. It's true. Look, I've got the proof right here in my bag. I like how you can hear the sound effects of her ruffling through it. What is she searching for? Not this. Not this either. I remember seeing cloth like that recently. Ah, here. Please, take a look at this. It's some sort of paper. What's it say? April 1st. Theft report accepted. April 1st? Am I able to check the date? Wait. No, that would just be it. It was 18 years ago. Yeah, this is not going to help me. Okay, never mind. April 1st, theft report accepted. Stolen item, Megatoxin X. This is a theft report acceptance certificate. What? Yeah, see, truth is, 1 week ago, my Megatoxin X was stolen. 1 week ago. That means you didn't have it with you today. Yeah, see, that bottle you just found is probably the one that was stolen from me. I normally carry that bottle of Megatoxin X in my bag at all times, even though I often forget to keep it locked up. I would never even think about mixing it with normalium. But why in the world would you carry such a dangerous substance on your person? Well, you never know when those things will appear. Those creatures that infest the kitchen, striking fear into the heart of a lady, right? Although if you had a rolled up newspaper, you could just squash them with one blow. Justine, what do we do now? Well then. Can we really accept this theft report? Let's ask for confirmation. That should clearly tell us whether or not she's lying. Right. Well then, I'll just call and confirm it. It looks like Miss Delicious isn't the culprit. Indeed, if she really did set up the poison gas as a trap, I don't believe she would do it in the way that incriminates her the most. So Miles, who do you think is the culprit? Predicting the actions of the victim would require a fair amount of advanced planning. And there's only one person here capable of that. Huh? Uncle Ray would like to know too. Who do you suspect? Oh boy. The one who stole the Megatoxin X and prepared the room in advance was... It could only be... the Curator. Likes to sing and dance, was Jeff's assistant. Oh god. Ugh. It had to be the Curator of the Zodiac Art Gallery. Miss Catherine Hall. Why do I keep yawning? I didn't think I was that tired. I mean, I'm not tired. It's just, I'm yawning a lot. It's because this game I read a lot, I think. I did the same with Planescape, to be fair. However, I still don't have any evidence that she is the criminal yet. I see. She is. Huh? The way he said that just now sounded like he had been expecting it. Good job, Miles. As expected from Uncle Ray's future apprentice. I have no intention of becoming your apprentice. And I will now announce the results of my verification. I can confirm that her theft report was indeed accepted. Therefore, it's a little too early to come to a decision. That means your logic was completely faulty. You're wrong. My real performance is still to come. Really? And how do you plan to proceed with your investigation? That's... First, we need to speak with the Curator. And after that... we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Sebastian? Miss Gustavia may have had business in the Winter Palace. And they said Water Palace. God, that was giving me flashbacks. I believe we should send an investigator there as well. Oh, that's good too. Detective Gumshoe, investigate the Winter Palace at once. Ugh, got it, sir. Justine, let's go talk to the Curator. Hey Simon, how's it going? Yes, let us proceed. We should go and listen to what Miss Hall has to say as well. The Fountain Patio. Oh, it's April 2nd. Wait. It said it was a week ago. Unless that was just a theft report. Wait, that didn't get added to my thing, did it? I guess not. Alright. Alright, I want you guys to listen to what the Curator has to say. That sucks to hear, dude. I hope your day gets better then. I hope things get better. Mr. DeBest, weren't you going to go and talk to her yourself? Nah, that's a job for my subordinates. All I have to do is wait for their report. I'm the best prosecutor after all. Such arrogance. Well, this is anticlimactic. I'm gonna chill for a bit. Huh? What's that in the fountain? Huh? What? Oh dear. There's a dead body in the fountain. What is the meaning of this? Is that the guy from the 18 years ago? No, it can't be. It can't be. Silence, everyone. Forensics. Identify this body at once. It's not Isaac Dover, is it? Was it Isaac? I think it was Dover. It's terrible, pal. Please be quiet, detective. The ice sculptures in the Winter Palace. They've all melted, pal. Oh, dear. What? What? Huh? Brilliant. What? I mean, I know that feeling. I can't really... Like, it's a shitty thing, but I can't really say much to make you feel better. All I can do is just hope things get better for you. And I'm sorry, things are shit at the moment. What's going on here? There are 2 victims now. This is all just like 18 years ago. Once again, the ice sculptures have melted. Again. And everyone related to the incident 18 years ago is gathered here now. This is no mere coincidence. Don't you think so, Miles? Yes. The key to finding the truth of this case lies in the IS-7 incident. This is what I believe. Huh. That's right, Uncle Ray thinks so too. Looks like it's time once again for Uncle Ray to tell you about the IS-7 incident. Okay, so now we're going back in time to do that. To be continued. Alright. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Whoosh. Alrighty, so we're playing as Gregory now. My weekend wasn't too bad, thanks. been fairly busy with streaming, working on other stuff, etc. How about yours? Right, so, where did we leave this off? We went with Manfred into the Winter Palace, and then everything was melted. I'm up to speed. The IS-7 incident 18 years ago, Gregory Edgeworth's last case. I mean, technically that wasn't his last case. His last case would have been the one where he faced against Manfred, and then died as a result. Isaac Dover was murdered at the venue of a dessert contest. Also, the body that was in the fountain looks suspiciously a lot like his. But it can't be. After 18 years, that thing would not even resemble, or wouldn't resemble much, of a corpse. Unless it was frozen for 18 years. And his body was discovered in the chocolate treasure chest made by Jeff Master. The victim died from blood loss after being struck in the head with a rock salt lamp. The murder weapon was found hidden inside Delicious Candy Castle. Then, in the victim's room, where no one had searched yet... Yeah, there it is. Everything's melted. All of Dober's sherbet sculptures had melted. Right, so this is where we're continuing. Oh boy. 18 years ago. Alrighty. Oh, this actually looks quite a bit nicer than it did in the present. There's flowers in the fountain. The sculptures in Mr. Dover's room have melted. Due to that, Prosecutor Von Karma immediately drove us away from the scene. How are we going to investigate now? And what's with that defense attorney's out? Von Karma's methods are deplorable. Well, investigating the crime scene is supposed to be the police's job after all. But you've got to admit, Von Karma's methods are way out of line. Defense attorneys and the police should work together to discover the truth. Raymond, you must realize that not everyone shares the same views as us. Should one expose the truth for the sake of justice, or simply accept things as they appear? Everyone has their own view on what is right and what is wrong. Even if that means convicting an innocent man? Both ourselves and the police are only human, and as humans, we all make mistakes. It is for this reason that we defense attorneys exist. So that those who are alone and helpless can have an ally on their side. An ally on their side. If we cannot investigate, shouldn't we just find some other way to help? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I still have much to learn. You're still young, so you'll have many opportunities to learn. Right, I'll do my best. Hey! Oh look, it's... her, again. So I still don't know, is it Monsieur or Monsieur? Don't think it really matters. Edgeworth and Mr. Shields, would you like to take a brief respite? Oh god, not more singing and dancing, please. I know it's not much, but please, eat these. Oh, Jesus. Oh, thank you. So, chocolates, Mr. Master's favourite food, handmade by Miss Hall. Very sweet and quite misshapen. They look like toffee. Or truffles. Let's eat. I appreciate getting some sugar into my system. But these are a little too sweet. And it's a little misshapen too. I don't understand, like, why is a sweet being misshapen? Why does that matter? I'm terribly sorry. Does it not suit your tastes? Not at all. It's deliciously sweet. Thank you very much. But making sweets isn't really my forte. Huh? You made this chocolate, Kate? Yes, chocolate is Monsieur Master's favourite food. Preparing his favourite food is also part of my job. But I'm still not that good at it, so I need him to instruct me. I envy Master Jeff. He gets to eat Kate's handmade sweets whenever he wants. Huh? Did you say something? No, it's nothing. This is so sweet, in more ways than one. Miss Hall, you seem very dedicated to your work. Without my work, I wouldn't even have the right to be here. What do you mean? When I was a child, I was abandoned. Monsieur Master took me in. Ah, one snowy Christmas Eve, I was left on the doorstep of his mansion. I owe Monsieur Master my life. He became like a father to me. and so, to repay his kindness, I want to continue working for him. Kate, you're incredible. I've lived a long life. Yet that brought tears even to my eyes. Today, Christmas Eve has finally arrived once more. But it looks like it won't be able to give him the present I prepared. I would do anything if it meant saving Monsieur Master. If there's any way I could be of service to you, please ask. Yes, I appreciate that. Well then, do you happen to know anything about the victim, Isaac Dover? I don't really know much about, Monsieur Dover, but I have a photo of the desserts he made for the contest finals. And I said finale. Ooh. Wait, is that Pisces? No, I didn't. Actually, wait. Is that Pisces and whatever the other one was? I can't remember. This is certainly a splendid piece of work. Yes, with this exquisite beauty, it's truly a work of art. It's crafted so intricately that you almost forget it's made out of sherbet. It seems Monsieur Master was also fond of Monsieur Dover's work as well. Wow, these are the Taurus that... Oh, it's not Pisces. Oh no, Pisces is the fish women. The fish women. The mermaids. Oh wow, I couldn't even tell that was Taurus. Whoops. I am a disgrace to my own star sign. These are the Taurus and Gemini constellations. Do you know a lot about constellations, Raymond? Of course. There is so much romance in the constellations. For example, take the club, lyre, and arrow held by Gemini here. These come from... Huh? There are no strings on this lyre. I don't even know if that's how you say that. I don't really care, to be fair. Did Mr. Dover make a mistake in his sculpting? It's hard to think he would make a mistake like that. Huh? I thought you said you didn't know that much about him. Oh. I just sort of felt that way somehow. It appears she is hiding something from us. Oh, great. I wonder, will she be the suspect? Or will she be the person that did it for both? That'll be interesting. Miss Hall, did you take this photograph yourself? Yes. I took it with this instant camera. It develops pictures instantly. It's one of my greatest treasures. Hold the phone. Isn't that what Ray was using? It's what he took a picture of Edgeworth with. Wow. I would love to see it in action. Well then, why don't we take a picture right now? Yay! Let's have our picture taken, Mr. Edgeworth. Sure, I don't mind. I'm confident in my hairstyle today. Alright, I'm taking the picture. Say cheese! Here, it's developed. A present from me to you, Monsieur Shields. Oh, let's see it. Wow, thank you so much. That's such a great camera. It's the only camera in this mansion. Unfortunately, its convenience comes at a cost. There are no negatives. No negatives? Huh. Is this the same camera Mr. Master used during the contest? Yes, you are well informed. While he made his desserts, Monsieur Master photographed his work. After that, he took photos of all the other competitors' works. Was he taking photos at the time the body was found? The body was discovered during the judging, was it not? Monsieur Master intended to take photos of everyone's rooms, but... after he photographed Gustavia's room, he ran out of film. Monsieur Master asked me to change the film in the camera. It seemed the film he prepared in advance wasn't enough. There wasn't enough film. It seems the number of photos he took didn't match up with the amount of film remaining. Well, he told me himself it might have been just a mistake though. Was it really just a mistake? I retrieved more film from the main building and I went back to the Fountain Patio. And it was then that I heard some sort of... I heard the sound of something breaking in Monsieur Master's room. Monsieur Master, are you in here? And that's when she finds the body. Eek! And that's when I found Monsieur Dover's body in Monsieur Master's room. I keep switching between Monsieur and Monsieur. It was so terrible, I was really shaken up. Before I spoke to anyone else, I called the police. This camera, I've kept it with me ever since. I see. If it's alright with you, would you mind lending me your camera in that photo? Sure, I don't mind at all. Here you go. Thank you very much. Hey! Instant camera added to the cult record, develops photos instantly, has a capacity for 20 photos, but there is only film for 3 more. So Dover's Sherbet Salon. Oh, look who it is. I really love Be It Bad's theme. It's such a good one. Detective Bad, Miss Delicious. Is the investigation over already? Oh, I can see Manfred. More so, I can see his lower half. He said he had no more use for me and kicked me out. Manny, that meanie. What a rude thing to say. It was probably to ensure that you wouldn't eat any more of the crime scene. So, Detective Bad, did you get kicked out too? It seems Von Karma thought I was getting in the way. He won't let me investigate. Why would he prohibit his own detective from investigating? Von Karma's stood right there. Oh, he ain't now. But we know just about all there is to know about the crime scene. I fucking love this song. So good. Right now, he's talking to Gustavia in Dover's room. Why does he need to speak to Mr. Gustavia? We heard from Hall that Gustavia was seen entering the victim's room. Mr. Gustavia? Yes, I saw him entering Dover's room, and it seemed like he was trying to avoid being seen. Although I have no idea what he did in there. He is currently under suspicion for melting Dover's sherbet. Just why did Mr. Gustavia enter that room? I also have a photo of Dover's room here, if you need it. I'll let you take a look at it. What? Why would you do that for us? You still don't get it, kid. I'm saying I want to help you guys, in order to discover the truth of this case. Detective Bad. Is that alright, Detective Bad? Won't Von Karma chew you out again? I have no intention of becoming Von Karma's lapdog. If he won't let me investigate, I'll just do as I like. Getting tied up in stupid rules will only blind you to the truth. Isn't that right, Attorney Edgeworth? Of course, Detective Bad. I thank you. Wow. Detective Bad is quite a badass, it would seem. This is amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Now we've got Detective Bad on our side. Look at the starry eyes. I don't really get what's going on, but I'm glad you boys are all friends now. I'm grateful that he'll lend us his strength. Well then, can we see the photo now? Right. Right, what am I looking at? I can see the wires. This is the current state of Dover's room. Wow. The sherbet is completely melted. The room is drenched in a light blue liquid. We should compare this with the photo Miss Hall took. Did the sherbet melt because the power cord was pulled out? I was wondering why that moved up to the top of the screen. It's because the text box would have been covering the power cord. Yeah, because it was pulled. All of the refrigerated glass cases lost power completely. Looks like all the power cords were connected to one socket. Do you have any idea when this cord was pulled out? No, it's still under investigation at the moment. What a waste of beautiful sherbet. Honestly, had I known it would end up like this, I would have eaten even more of the stuff. Did Mr. Dover's sherbet taste that good? Oh yes, his sherbet was most delicious. Really? I wish I could have eaten some too. But there was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it. Salty? It's right here in this photo. It was a part of that lyre. Oh. That's the lyre from the Gemini constellation. Ah, you snuck a bite from the lyre, that's why the strings are missing. So fee, fi, for fun. I could never have eaten that much, it was way too salty. So, Delicia's testimony, Dover's sherbet was most delicious, but the lyre part was very salty. One part of the sherbet tasted different. That's rather curious. Did someone other than her also take a bite out of it? Did you notice anything else? Now that you mention it, I see Zodiac Sculptures had these strange markings on them. They had 2 letters carved into them. Wait a minute. There, it looks something like this. PH. I've seen that. An alphabet signature. It can't be. Yeah, I saw that on the bottom of this. Was it this? No, it wasn't the bottom of that. It was the bottom of the lamp. Yeah. There. It's that. PH. But it was on the bottom of this. I called it a lamp. It's a teapot. There it is. Whoosh. Yeah, there we go. It says PH. Yeah, I've already read that, so I don't need to read it again. Okay. An alphabet signature. It can't be. I knew it. I just knew that Monsieur Dover had made this wire. He isn't one to make mistakes in his sculptures, after all. Miss Hall, it's been troubling me for a while, but... Do you know something about Mr. Dover? Huh? Why would I know something about Monsieur Dover? Man, you're sweating an awful lot. Sheesh. You seem quite attached to Mr. Dover's handiwork. That's just because his sculptures are such great works of art. No, I believe his works are very special to you in particular. How do you know that? There's a piece of evidence that we believe belongs to Mr. Dover. And it happens to share a common feature with another piece of evidence. Please show me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Which 2 pieces of evidence share something in common? 2 pieces of evidence that point to Mr. Dover. Let's start representing the first one. Okay, the signet crest. Fucking hell, that was loud. Take that! And now the second piece of evidence, which shares a common feature, is the teapot. Take that. Yes. Alicia saw 2 letters of the alphabet. They were probably used as Mr. Dover's signature. Just as an artist would sign their name on their works. Right. Oh, I remember now. Icy Sherbet Sculptures had PH carved into them, I'm sure of it. PH. Those aren't Isaac Dover's initials. Not initials, though. No. But we found this seal at the scene of the crime. It had probably fallen out of the late Mr. Dover's pocket. If you had pressed this seal into something, it would mark the letters PH. Also, the very same PH symbol is engraved into this teapot. The same symbol. This teapot was made by the sculptor Pierre Houquet. Or Houquet. In other words, this PH is the signature of Pierre Houquet. Houquet? Yeah, whatever. Miss Hall, you know about the signature all too well, don't you? Yes. Monsieur Houquet's works always bear that signature. Since he never shows himself in public, his signature is used to identify his works. So Isaac Dover... No way, are you saying Pierre Houquet is... It seems Detective Baird has also realised Isaac Dover's true identity. Ah. To Miss Hall, Mr. Dover was no ordinary pastry chef. That's because his true identity was... a sculptor. Not a fan of sculptures. Sculptor. That's right. Mr. Dover's true identity was the sculptor Pierre Houquet. What? Mr. Dover was a sculptor? Things like signatures can be faked. If you have the original designs, can you really use that as proof that he was a sculptor? No, but what's important here is that Miss Hall thought he was. As for proving his real identity, I'll leave that to the police. I get it. I'll have the boys check up on it. As he just disappears into oblivion. As I expected from you, Gregory Edgeworth. You knew Mr. Dover's real identity all along, didn't you? Yes. When I discovered the body, I noticed the seal. I knew from that moment he was Pierre Houquet, the man I greatly admired. Thinking that this would be his final posthumous work, I just couldn't sit still. So that's why you entered Dover's room. Huh? What did you say? Then when exactly did you take this photo of Dover's room? That was... Perhaps this was taken during the judging. You said you took it. That's strange. I thought you said the camera ran out of film during the judging. Also that. Before Mr. Master entered Dover's room, you were the one in possession of the camera. Wasn't that why you were able to take the photo when you discovered the body? Yes, that's right. The only photos you took with the new film were of Dover's room and the body. If that's the case, a new contradiction comes to light. Another one? The piece of evidence that contradicts the two photos Miss Hall took is the fact that there's enough space for 3 pictures. There's only film for 3 more. Yeah. That is my instant camera. You've already handed the photos of Dover's room and the body to myself and the police. That reminds me, didn't you also take a photo of me and Mr. Edgeworth just now? So that's 3. The film used in this camera can take up to 20 photos, so that'd be 3. However, this camera only has 3 photos left. Oh! Okay, what we're pressing on is the fact there's only 3 photos left, which means there's 14? What's that? Yeah, that would be 14. 14 pictures that are unaccounted for. Which leaves 14... Oh wow. Literally what I just said. Leaves 14 photos unaccounted for. Exactly what were they used to photograph? Please show us all the photos you took. We will be able to discern your actions from these photos. I'm so sorry. I have told a terrible lie. Huh? Don't tell me. All the remaining shots are of Isaac Dover's room. My deepest apologies. It seems they are all shots of the ice sculptures from various angles. So when these were taken, the sculptures had not melted yet. But that means the one who caused them to melt was you. Yes, I'm positive that I melted them. You are positive? I am an aficionado of the sculptor Pierre Hoquet sounds better, who is actually Monsieur Dover. Before the authorities could defile his final masterpieces during their investigation, I thought I should preserve them through photographs, hence I entered his room. In that case, why did all the ice melt? It's probably because, as I was taking the pictures, I became entranced with his works. And it seems that my foot accidentally got caught in the power cord, unplugging it. Accidentally, you say? I did not notice the power cord at the time. I would never have imagined that I would be the cause of those sculptures melting. Could the truth really be that simple? However, I cannot say with certainty that she is lying. I'm so sorry to have caused you all so much trouble. As long as you are telling the truth, there's no need to apologize. That's right. Don't sweat it, Kate. Thank you very much. Edgeworth? Here, take this picture. Do what you want with it. 2 photos received from Kate in bed. Touch the check button for details. Oh, right. It wasn't Von Karma. The person I could see was a, not security guard. It was part of the police. You meddling fools still haven't given up yet, have you? No matter how long you wait, I have no intention of allowing a defense attorney to investigate. No matter. If we can't investigate, we'll find the truth through some other method. Always ready with a comeback. Well, do try your best. Excuse me, Monsieur Von Karma? The truth is, it was I who melted the ice sculptures in Monsieur Dover's room. What? What's the meaning of this, you clod? I am truly sorry, both to you and Monsieur Gustavia. Do not be concerned about me. Sir Von Karma has already recognised that I had no hand in this act. That reminds me. Why did you enter Mr. Dover's room, Mr. Gustavia? Well, that was because... Of course he won't let me say. Or won't let him say. Silence ignoramus. You are not to give that attorney the tiniest hint of information. Catherine Hall, you are coming with me. You are under suspicion of being complicit in the murder. No. I shall be interrogating you personally. You best prepare yourself. Very well. Please wait. I still have some questions I want to ask her. I do not care for your sorry plight in the least. Ugh. Bad, Gustavio. And while I'm at it, you as well, Scones. I have plenty of questions for you all. Understood. Fig, while I'm at it, he says, the nerve. Oh well, they're all leaving. Bye bye bye. He just took everyone away with him. Yeah. Even if we stay here, I don't think we'll be able to investigate any further today. Let's take our leave for now. It's already grown rather late. I hope the snow has stopped by now. Sounds good. Is he hungry by any chance? I'm starving anyway. Let's stop somewhere for hamburgers then, before my stomach joins the chorus. You can't fight on an empty stomach after all. We'll need to report back to Mr. Master with our findings first thing tomorrow. Alright. Bum 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 boom. Alrighty. I'm not actually sure how long this last, not last part, but this part will take. But I might just do these three and then call it a session. Actually, it depends how long I've been going, because I could always just do the rest of the case. That might be one hell of a session, though. It's hard to say. We'll see. Either way, let's go! Huh? What are you doing here, Kate? Monsieur Shields, and Monsieur Edgeworth. Let me to apologise once again for all the trouble I caused you yesterday. God. I caused you yesterday. Ugh. Miss Hall looks a bit tired. Has Von Karma finished interrogating you? Yes, aside from what happened to the ice sculptures, I was not at fault for anything else. Are you also here to meet with Master Jeff, Kate? Yes, I am worried about how he is holding up. Hmm? Detective Bad, why are you here? I just happened to be here. I'll be heading to the crime scene soon. I don't think this is a place that people happen to be, though. Oh god. Hello. What happened? Why is his hair white? Master Jeff, what happened to you? Oh no, Monsieur Master, why do you look so poor? Or was that poorly? I didn't quite read it right. I didn't get much sleep last night. The tribulation known as questioning was rather harsh. I'm just a little exhausted. They didn't let you sleep? Even for an interrogation, that's going too far. Detective Bad. The detective in charge of the initial investigation was also in charge of the interrogation. I don't like Von Karma's methods, but this was all I could do. Oh. He was the one who brought me here. It seems I was supposed to be interrogated for a little bit longer, though. It seems that Detective Bad is looking out for Mr. Master in his own way. Jeez. Goddamn. So, shall we inform Mr. Master about what happened yesterday? Raymond? Yes, sir. I got all my memos right here. Mr. Master, we would like to inform you about yesterday's investigation. Yes, thank you very much. Please, go ahead. Master Jeff, it's almost like your spirit's gone. Ah, my sugar levels are low, so I might not seem like my usual energetic self. Monsieur Master, do we have anything that can give his spirit and his glucose a boost? We do indeed. Wait, so if I present, I'm assuming I won't get much out of him in his current state. There we go. Have a chocolate. Oh, those chocolates. Are you giving them to me? No, those chocolates are... If possible, I would like to give them to you immediately. But it's against the rules to give anything to the suspects in the detention center. I see. Regrettably, if those are the rules, then there's nothing we can do about it. Come on, Detective Bad, help us out. Are you sure there's no way we can give them to him? Detective Bad, looks like he noticed what we're trying to ask of him. I'll inspect the chocolates, and if there are no problems, I'll think about it. Detective Bad. Thank you very much. Alright, I knew we could count on you, Detective Bad. I am truly in your debt. Wait right here. Really? I have to investigate the chocolates. They're fine. Take it. Thank you very much. Not a word to anyone else. It would cause problems for me later. Yes, of course. I apologize for making you go through so much trouble. Now I shall partake in eating these delicious delights at once. I'm sorry for asking you to do something so dangerous, Detective Bad. I only did what I wanted to do. Why can't you just be honest here, Detective? Oh, how sweet. It's like I've come back to life. Oh, did Kate make these chocolates? Yes, sir, I did. How does it taste? Does his hair go back to being brown? Oh, for fuck's sake, really? Melts in your mouth. Not in your hand. Sweet chocolates. Melting in my mouth. So a sweet soda vine. Does his hair go back to brown? Oh no, not quite. I was waiting for that to happen. That'd have been funny. Thank you for the tasty treat. Oh, they're a bit misshapen, but so sweet and delicious. Thank you. I still don't get the... Like, why is a misshapen sweet a bad thing? Who the fuck cares? As long as it tastes good, who cares? The shape of the bloody thing. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. And above all, it helped you regain your spirit. Thank you for your concern. The food they serve here has been absolutely tasteless. And combined with the lack of sleep, I was thoroughly exhausted. Is the food here that bad? Just salt, beef and stew. Your average prison fare. That is odd. I really could not taste anything. Whatever. I'm about to head out. To the crime scene. Please wait, Detective Bad. Can you give us any new information? Yeah, I think I can. We've identified the victim. Just as you said, Isaac Dover was a sculptor who worked in France. It seems he went by the name Pierre Houquet. Isaac Dover was Pierre Houquet? How could that be? Monsieur Pierre Houquet. So Pierre Houquet wasn't actually French, huh? Which is likely why he never showed himself in public while he worked under that name. The Zodiac Sculptures. They were his masterpieces, it seems. Although they will remain forever unfinished. Unfinished? Even though they were his masterpieces? It seems he worked on them by season. Once he finished the remaining winter constellations, his work would be done. Huh? The winter constellations are Taurus and Gemini, right? So those ice sculptures were his final pieces. It's heartbreaking that they melted. I cannot apologize enough. Oh no, I wasn't blaming you or anything. Also, Dover was infamous for being greedy. He would charge hundreds of thousands just to make a single sculpture. It seemed like he always had money troubles. The murder might be related to that, but it's still under investigation. So he had money problems even though he was a famous artist. Do you know why he entered a dessert contest? Not yet. He kept it a secret, even from his family. I see. It's time. I'm bringing in the replacement guard. I can't hang around here any longer than I have. Yes, I understand. Let's meet again later. See you later, Detective Bad. That detective is a kind soul. Indeed. He never strays from his own beliefs. He truly has a strong will. But he's pretty scary when you first meet him. I see. Could you tell me everything that happened yesterday? Of course. Allow me to give you a report of our investigation. Oh yeah. So this is what happened. I am sorry for the trouble Kate has caused you. I am truly very sorry. You have no need to worry so long as you have told the truth, Miss Hall. Mr. Master, would you mind if I asked you a few questions as well? Yes, I shall divulge all that I know. Contestants. Please, tell us about the other 3 contestants in the final round of your contest. Let's see. Miss Delicious's desserts had a fantastic design. However, she broke the rules so I could not recognise her as the winner. Up until the semi-finals, Mr. Gustavia's flavours and design were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired, and there was something strange about his dessert in the semi-finals. Something strange? Both Mr. Gustavia's and Mr. Dover's desserts had the exact same taste. They had different designs, but in terms of taste, it was like eating the same thing. What did they look like? Ah, there should be a picture of them at my mansion. Please allow me to show you later. Certainly, thank you very much. And then there was Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures. Oh, they were absolutely heavenly. Did you have a chance to taste his creations? If I recall correctly, his body was discovered in the middle of judging. Yes, but I was not informed of this until after the judging had finished. Since he was not present in the room, I helped myself to a piece of his edible lyre. It was fantastically delicious. I was so moved I broke into song. Wait a moment, please. Did you say the lyre was delicious? Could you please give us a little more detail about that? Okay. Didn't Miss Delicious... Oh, Delicia. Didn't she say it was salty? I could have sworn she said it was salty. So you ate the lyre from the sculpture in Mr. Dover's room, correct? Yes, the one that was in the same glass case as the Gemini sculpture. Please, have a look at this picture, Mr. Master. Did you eat from this lyre that's missing the strings? Yes, that lyre originally had strings. However, I ate them all, resulting in what you see here in this picture. Okay. Wait, so what the hell did Miss Delicious eat? Actually, wait, we don't even know that she ate strings, do we? We just know that part of it tasted salty. So the strings on the lyre were missing because he ate them. Actually, Delicia ate part of the same lyre that you did. Oh, there we go. However, she said that it was so salty that she could not eat it. You don't say. That means there might be a problem with my sense of taste after all. A problem with your sense of taste? How so? There's a taste disorder called... What? Hypogeusia. Gozia? Whatever. In which you lose the ability to taste salt. Perhaps I have contracted this illness. I just never realised it since I eat nothing but sweets. However, I now know with certainty. So that's why he couldn't tell that the food they served here tasted like. Oh! Because it was salt beef and stew. Or salt beef stew. Either way, that makes sense. Okay. No, for a pastry chef to lose their sense of taste is fatal. Even if there is a treatment for taste impairment, there isn't a cure for it yet. But it's probably best that you let the police know so you can receive a medical examination. No, that won't be necessary. There is a recipe in my mansion specifically for making the cure. A recipe for a drug that will cure your taste impairment. Yes. Please, look for it later when you return to the mansion. Monsieur Master, but that means revealing the... Kate, we should no longer conceal it from Mr. Gregory. Yes, sir, I understand. If that is what you wish. A recipe for a special drug. Just what are they hiding? Well then, I must be returning to the mansion now, so I will take my leave. Yes, we'll be heading there later as well. Kate? What is it, Monsieur Master? You should not live for my sake. You should reconsider your lifestyle, so that you can live by yourself, even if I were no longer around. Please do not say things like that. I simply cannot live without you, Mr. Master. I promise to wait for you until you return. Excuse me. Aw. Ah, Kate. Catherine. I mean, he is like a father to her. Master Jeff. Kate was crying. Why did you say something so cruel? I am worried about her. Catherine always puts me before herself. What do you mean? She collected Pierre her case works and makes sweets. All to make me happy, nothing more. That's the only reason she does anything. She always puts aside her own preferences and things that she wants to do herself. I want Catherine to choose to live her own life. I do not want her to waste her valuable life because of me. Is that so? He thinks of Miss Hall as his own daughter. And he would want his children to choose their own path in life. And a parent would do anything to protect their own child, or children. That feeling, I also know it well. Well, that should do it for the questions. We must return to the scene of the crime. Ah, it is already time to leave, I see. So will my tribulations of questioning resume? We should take measures against their interrogations, from our side as well. Can you ask the police about that? I can, but I have other ways in mind as well. When the time comes... Ho-ho, you are a dependable man. I shall be counting on you. Master Jeff, we'll come here every day with reports of our progress. And we'll bring Kate too. Yes, thank you very much. I shall be looking forward to it. Mr. Master, know that the police will be attempting to get you to confess. I am sorry to ask an innocent soul like yourself to bear with these painful experiences. But please hold on for now. If you confess, I am positive that Von Karma will use that to his advantage. And that will make helping you all that much more difficult. I understand. I shall do my best. If you believe in me until the bitter end, I will definitely get you out of here. Okay, we're back at the Fountain Patio. Wait, where's the music? All fancy. Detective Baird, thank you for helping us earlier. Yes, thank you. Thanks for what? There's no need to be shy about it. Enough about that. I suppose you intend to investigate today too? Of course. We still need more information to prove Mr. Master's innocence. I'm sorry, but apart from this patio, you're not allowed to investigate anywhere else. What? So you're saying we can't investigate? I'm guessing this is Von Karma's doing? Yeah. Von Karma's a bit on edge at the moment. He still... oh, pardon me. Hasn't received the autopsy report. Moreover, the only ones in this mansion are Miss Hall and the police. So don't get your hopes up on speaking with the people connected to this case. Von Karma's being completely unreasonable. He's gone too far. Detective Baird, what do you intend to do? I promised. I'll do anything I can to assist you. You have my thanks. We won't let any of Von Karma's dirty tricks get the best of us. Hell yeah. Detective Baird, is it alright if we investigate the Fountain Patio? Yes, but we've already finished checking everything. Except for the fountain. That's fine. As long as there is still something, I shall continue investigating. So who can I speak with? Oh, just follow me. Oh, nice. What are you investigating exactly? Sir, I'm testing the water in the fountain for foreign matter, sir. Have you... found anything? It seems there's both chocolate and sherbet mixed in with the fountain water. It matches the chocolate from Jeff Master's room. And the sherbet that melted in Isaac Dover's room? They all share the same composition. The fountain water circulates through streams that flow from each of the 4 rooms. Perhaps the melted sherbet flowed into the fountain. Also, someone's blood was detected as well. What are you saying? How could there have been blood in the fountain? Detective Baird, please think back to our investigation of the crime scene. Detective Baird, please look at the crime scene carefully once more. The bloodstain that should have remained at the crime scene has disappeared. I definitely didn't get any reports about the bloodstain being cleaned up. The blood disappeared from the crime scene. Also, part of the treasure chest was missing too. Perhaps the blood in the fountain belongs to this person. Who's that? The victim. Let's run a comparison with the blood on the murder weapon. Alright. Ba-da-da-da. It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Dover's. I wonder why the criminal spilled the blood, or the victim's blood, into the fountain. Victim's blood. Dover's blood was found in the fountain water. However, it was absent from the crime scene. Oh, yay. Kate? Miss Hall? I've come to investigate today. Ah, Monsieur Edgeworth. I apologise for my disgraceful behaviour earlier. Kate. She still looks a bit down. What Master said earlier must have been a real shock to her. I've prepared the photo I took of the desserts during the semi-finals. Please, take a look. Oh wow. Isaac Dover's, Delicious Scones, and... so cute! Delicious Cake is so cute. Who's the other one? Oh yeah, Dane Gustavia. Monsieur Master also praised the design of Delicious' work very highly. Messieurs Gustavia and Dover's works gained high praise for both taste and design, but Monsieur Master said it felt like he was eating the exact same thing twice. But it seems that the desserts had completely different tastes for the finals. Was there anything else that was different between the finals and the semi-finals? It's nothing major, but there was something. During the contest, Monsieur Gustavia's son always came to see him, but there was no sign of him at the finals. His son came to visit? I wonder if there is any significance behind that. Would you mind leaving this photo with me? Certainly. Anything to aid in the investigation. Gustavia and Dover's desserts had different designs but tasted exactly the same. And here's the recipe book that contains the special drug for curing taste disorders. That cover looks familiar. It was in, yeah, the frame. Wasn't this framed in Master's room? Since it's also the prize for the contest, we put it out on display. Ah, so the contest prize, Angel's Recipe, wasn't just a recipe for desserts. That's right, we've informed the participants, but it seems you all don't know yet. So the participants knew about the true contents of the Angel's Recipe. Angel's Recipe book contains the recipe for the drug that will cure the taste disorder hypogeusia. Gozia. Still don't know how you really say it, but yeah, whatever. Miss Hall, please tell me all you know about Angel's Recipe. The Angel's Recipe. Bum bum. So the Angel's Recipe contains the formula for the drug. Bum 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 bum. Yes, it's a recipe book for new drugs that haven't been released to the public yet. Oh. If sold to a pharmaceutical company, I'm sure it would fetch a substantial price. Why is something like that a prize in the contest? Monsieur Master is the only heir to the chairman of the Master Group. Master Group, that name sounds familiar. They're a pharmaceutical company who deal in a wide range of products. Ah, they've become big news recently with the release of Cold Killer X. I often use the Cold Killer products, but I've never once seen you with a cold. I would like to hear more about the Master Group. Okay, so the Master Group. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. So did Mr. Master not want to follow in his parents' footsteps? Monsieur Master wanted to bring joy to people with his desserts. His parents also wanted him to become a great pastry chef and supported him. When his parents died, the recipe book was left to him as his inheritance. Why would he give away a memento of his parents as a prize in the contest? There were always people who were after it, something which has troubled Monsieur Master. but just giving away the memento would have been disrespectful to his parents. So he decided to pass it over to someone he acknowledged. And the members of the Master Group approved of that. Oh, pardon me. Information about new drugs being passed on to outsiders. Of course they objected. That's why Delicia participated in the contest. On the orders of the Master Group, she was requested to win the championship. You knew Delicia's true identity from the start? Yes. In order for her to win, I told her Monsieur Master's tastes and preferences. Why did you help her? I helped her in order to protect Monsieur Master and the Master Group. So if the drug recipes were given to another company, he would be reprimanded by the board. I wanted to return the recipes to the company in a way that Monsieur Master would accept. So it was due to Miss Hall's help that Delicia was able to reach the finals. Speaking of which, Mr. Dover wasn't a pastry chef either. He sure did well to make it to the finals, considering he's just a sculptor. Yes, for him to be able to make such fine desserts despite being a sculptor. From the sherbet sculptures he made for the finals, it's clear to see he has great talent, but could he really have made that by himself? That is all I know. Is there anything else I can do to help? To save Mr. Master, she's trying to help as much as she can. May we perhaps have some more of that tea from yesterday, please, Miss Hall? I'm sure that would help us get on with the investigation. Yeah, I'd like some of Kate's tea too. Right, understood. I'll be back in a minute. And there she goes. Kay looks a bit better now. Bum bum bum. Investigation complete. Woohoo! We've gathered information about all the contestants. And yet we still haven't heard Gustavia's side of the story. That reminds me. Why did you enter Mr. Dover's room, Mr. Gustavia? Ah, well, that was because... Yeah, silence, you... ignoramus. You're not to give that attorney the tiniest hint of information. What exactly was he doing in Mr. Dover's room? And moreover, something is odd about his semi-finals entry. A pastry chef bad at designing, and a sculptor skilled only at designing. It would have been extremely difficult for either of them to win the contest alone. Could it be that Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's connection is... Detective Bad? They helped each other out? We have reason to suspect the actions of Dean Gustavia. Yeah. It's imperative that we find a way to contact him at once. Oh? This conversation is most interesting. Of course. It's from Karma! However, I cannot allow you to speak with Mr. Gustavia. Von Karma. I have already conducted my interrogation of him. It is not necessary for him to speak any further, especially to a mere defense attorney. Tisk tisk tisk, but I will answer your questions in that fool's place. It seems Von Karma intends to prevent me from meeting Gustavia in person. I understand. In that case, I have but one thing to ask you. Yes? I would like to know the relationship between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. Oh, it's argument time. Their connection. Gustavia and Dover's relationship? It's obvious the only relationship they had was that they happened to participate in the same contest. That was it, really? You shitting me? That's it. There is nothing more to say. What? How are we supposed to understand anything from so little? If we want Von Karma to divulge the truth, we have no choice but to present evidence. It's all too obvious that he's hiding something. I'm also not going to press. It seems very pointless. Obviously, the only relationship they had was that they happened to participate in the same contest. Not true. It's also the fact that their desserts tasted the exact same. Objection! There we go. I win! Prosecutor Von Karma, I'd like you to look at these desserts. The desserts were made for the contest's semi-finals. Don't you think these two have a particularly impressive design? Just what are you getting at? These two desserts were made by Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. I wouldn't exactly call Mr. Gustavia's design skills praiseworthy, and yet for the semi-finals, he was able to produce something comparable to Mr. Dover's. Furthermore, these two desserts have the exact same flavour. What are you trying to say? I'm saying it's possible they collaborated with each other on their entries. Prosecutor von Karma, please take a closer look at their desserts. At first glance, they may look completely different. But even though the designs are different, it's clear they were made from the same material. Oh yeah, you can see, the flowers are the same. Yeah, is that so? The same flavour and composition. It's impossible to dismiss the similarity as coincidence. The very existence of these two desserts points to a link between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. Since you already know this much, I'll tell you the truth. Okay. Did von Karma know about their collaboration? However, what I'm about to say is not going to help your case at all. Alright, lay it on me. Their real connection. If you want to know about Gustavia and Dover's connection so badly, I'll tell you. Last night, when I interrogated Gustavia, he told me about his connection with Dover. Until the day before the finals, they worked on their desserts together. That's it. Really? You knew about their cooperation all this time, didn't you? Why would you conceal the truth? Because it's von Karma. It's what he does. He don't give a shit about the truth. He just wants a guilty verdict. I would appreciate it if you didn't sully my reputation. Until I explain my points in court, I avoid giving away unnecessary details. I was merely saving you time. How can he act like this and keep the truth from us? His concealment of the truth is something I simply cannot ignore. Who? Their real connection. I'll try pressing these. Can I actually do the voice command? Hold it. Maybe not. Hold it. Yeah, I guess not. Sadly, 'tis a damn shame. It seems you knew about their real connection all along. Why did you hide it from us? Tisk tisk tisk. I would never divulge information to a mere insect such as yourself so easily. I'm not a fool like that detective after all. I was just doing things my way. It was because you defied me that he gained this information in the first place. Yeah. You told me of their connection. Oh shit, I didn't read it. Afterwards, I went to interrogate Gustavia personally. Interrogated by von Karma? Ugh, sounds scary. No, Mr. Gustavia, I feel like he probably tried to meditate through the interrogation. The moment he closed his eyes, I snapped my fingers, like so, to show him that no one remained silent in front of me. And did that have any effect? Because of that, I was able to get a perfect confession about his connection with Dover. Right, I'm going to press on that again. But mostly because I want to see what he says. Yeah, I didn't realise. So last night, that was after Mr. Dover's sculptures had melted, right? Yeah, I can just zoom through this. There we go. Until the day before the finals, they worked on their desserts together. What could I present? My part was very salty. Also, Dover's not technically a chef. He's a sculptor. Go for it. Yeah, so I just fixed my tie. You say that Miss Gustavia and Mr. Dover did not collaborate during the finals. That's strange. Delicia testified that Dover's sherbet was most delicious. But a novice chef, or being a novice chef, I doubt he could have done all that by himself. Perhaps the two of them cooperated during the finals as well. Defense attorney. How many times do I have to tell you? Delicia Scone's subjective opinion cannot be admitted as evidence. There is still a chance that a novice chef could make something tasty. My wife is an amateur, yet her cooking rivals that of world-class chefs. How is that not a subjective opinion? Moreover, even if you take this pharmacist's testimony to be true, it changes nothing. She also mentions that a part of his sherbet was very salty. Which means you can hardly call his entry for the finals perfect. Oh. Tisk tisk tisk. What, no more objections? Is there no way I can prove their collaboration? Mr. Edgeworth? There's something that's been bugging me. What is it? The desserts Mr. Dover made for the finals would have taken a long time to make, right? Indeed. They were frozen sculptures after all. How would he have had time to sculpt it after it was frozen? Let alone help Mr. Gustavia with his designs as well. The way I see it, just waiting for the sherbet to freeze would have used up all of his time. Just how was he able to make those sherbet sculptures? Raymond, you may have a promising future after all. Look at his face. Thanks to you, I have noticed one more possibility. Nice. That's right. Mr. Dover's sherbet needed time to freeze properly. And the contest time limit would not have been enough. The method Mr. Dover used to make his sherbet within the time limit was... prepared in advance. Yeah. They weren't desserts. If the sherbet was prepared in advance, all he'd need to do was sculpt it. And he's a master sculptor. You. Just what are you mumbling about? Please, excuse me. I finally realised. Your earlier view was correct. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? What are you doing? Oh, so you're finally admitting defeat. No, all I'm admitting to is the truth of one of your statements. Dover and Gustavia's collaboration lasted only until the day before the finals. It is exactly as you said. They only cooperated until the day before the finals. The sculptures in Mr. Dover's room were all made out of sherbet. Such an amount would most likely need to be left overnight to freeze, which means Mr. Gustavia prepared Mr. Dover's sherbet in advance the day before. That's right, so you realise Gustavia's cooperation ended the day before the finals. Then why did Mr. Dover not help Mr. Gustavia in return? The views of the dead are of no concern to me. Ow. If you aren't going to answer that, I'll need to get in touch with Mr. Gustavia himself. Or was your interrogation not quite as thorough as you claim? You ingrate. You dare mock me? That was not my intention, but I do have a problem with your attitude. I want you to give us a clear reason why we can't speak to Mr. Gustavia in person. A clear reason? Gustavia and Dover's collaboration has no bearing on this case. I object. You claim their collaboration is irrelevant. If Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's relationship had turned sour, it could serve as a motive for murder. You're saying that Gustavia and Dover's collaboration was linked to the motive for the murder. If that were the case, why did he not conceal it? After all, we found out about this collaboration from Gustavia himself. If you really are a lawyer, show us evidence that gives us reason to suspect Gustavia. Only one of Mr. Gustavia's actions has been suspicious so far. Doubtless Von Karma already knows this fact. This could be a trap by Von Karma. What's wrong, defense attorney? Not going to answer? But I mustn't back down now. Mr. Gustavia sneaked into Mr. Dover's room. His reasons for this are currently unclear. But the very fact he secretly entered the victim's room is reason enough to suspect him. It was a trap. It was a trap. Tisk tisk tisk. If that's the extent of it, I can dispel those doubts. I knew it. Was it a trap after all? I was intending to save this for the courtroom, but I'll make a special exception. We wouldn't want to prolong the trial with unnecessary information, would we? Take a look at this. Aww. This is Parent Care Day. This is a photo of Gustavia and Dover, and their sons. Photo of Gustavia, Dover, and their sons. Gustavia's son always came to visit up until the finals. Oh. Gustavia entered Dover's room in order to steal this photo. To steal the photo? It seems their sons attended the same elementary school. Apparently he thought that he'd be suspected if people found out he and Dover were acquainted. Yes, just like you're doing now. There is nothing suspicious about Gustavia's actions. No further room for argument. Go! Oh no! Oh. He's still adamant on not letting us meet Mr. Gustavia. I have an investigation to return to. I have no more time to waste on the likes of you. Oh, well there we go. Curse out Von Karma, calling us a waste of time. What shall we do, Mr. Edgeworth? At this rate, Master Jeff will be... Von Karma is... busy? Of course. Why would he be so busy? Both the body and the murder weapon have been found, and he already has his suspect. The police should have more than enough evidence to prove Mr. Master's guilt. If that's the case, then why is Von Karma still investigating the crime scene? Mr. Edgeworth? Is there something wrong? It seems I have been overlooking a matter of vital importance. Considering that he already has the evidence he needs to convict Mr. Master, I feel that Von Karma isn't as composed as he should be. He didn't even tell Detective Bad the full results of the investigation. So, yeah. Von Karma's a bit on edge at the moment. He still hasn't received the autopsy report. Oh, I'm getting logic now. Okay. No autopsy report. A day after the incident, the autopsy report still has not arrived. Right. Furthermore, something vanished from the crime scene, and we still don't know why. Detective Bad, please look at the crime scene carefully once more. The bloodstain. The bloodstain that should have remained at the crime scene has disappeared. Bloodstain disappeared. The victim's blood was not found in Mr. Master's room. I definitely didn't get any reports about the bloodstain being cleaned up. But the strangest thing we found wasn't in Mr. Master's room at all. The fountain. It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Dover's. Blood in the water fountain. Traces of Dover's blood was found in the fountain water. Mr. Dover's blood vanished from Mr. Master's room, and somehow found its way into the fountain. What does this mean? Oh. Bloodstain disappeared, blood in the fountain. Connect those two together. Although the victim's blood wasn't found in... Wait. Although the victim's blood wasn't found in Mr. Master's room, it was detected in the water fountain. There would be no need for the killer to conceal the bloodstains after the body was found. It's unnatural that only the bloodstains that were found with the body disappeared. Unless the body was moved, the blood would have still remained on the chocolate. Don't tell me. Someone removed the body and then erased the bloodstains. Was the body removed? Body vanished, or blood vanished from the scene because the body was removed. Okay, so now I have to connect those two together. Hey, Remorse. How's it going? It's possible that the body was removed from the crime scene, and the autopsy report still has not arrived. Although we have a murder weapon and a suspect, we don't know much about the body. I've been investigating under the assumption that the body had been discovered. Perhaps this assumption was wrong from the very beginning. Why didn't Von Karma give Detective Bad the autopsy report? To understand that, yes, I must turn my logic around. Yeah, always. My thinking shouldn't be, why is Von Karma hiding information about the body? But rather, what if Von Karma doesn't even have the information to begin with? What happens if I think of it like that? It's possible that the body wasn't removed by the police for autopsy. It was moved and hidden by the real killer. Yeah, the Ace Attorney series is fucking awesome. I've been going through it back to back. I started in October of last year with Ace Attorney, then Justice for All, then Trials and Tribulations, then Ace Attorney Investigations, and then this. And then next I'll be doing, like after this finishes, Apollo Justice, then Dual Destinies, then Spirit of Justice, and then hopefully The Great Ace Attorney, which was has recently been fan translated for both 3DS and Android. But for Apollo Justice, Dual Destiny, and Spirit of Justice, and The Great Ace Attorney, I'll be doing the Android versions, just because they look better and perform better. Either way, so Mr. Edgeworth? I went on a bit of a tangent there, my bad. I've heard many dark rumours surrounding Von Karma. He's a prosecutor who forges evidence, fabricates testimonies, and makes backroom deals. Yeah, I've heard that too. But what does that have to do with this? I try to avoid judging others based on rumours. And I didn't let those rumours influence my opinion on Von Karma, until today. It seems he is a man who would distort the truth. Distort the truth? You don't mean forgery? I do. And I can't allow him to get away with this. Oh, we're walking up to him. You bastard! I must return to the prosecutor's office for now. Not a word to that attorney. Roger. I'm pointing at the wall. What do you want, defense attorney? I want to know the truth that you've been hiding. Oh, that finger snap. Fool, are you trying to mislead the police investigation again? If you interfere with the investigation anymore, I'll be forced to reprimand you myself. Police? No. My objection is with you. Ooh, what? Isn't it a prosecutor's job to ensure justice for criminals? What are you saying? I have no time to debate the job of a prosecutor with you. However, I will tell you one thing. Finger snap. My job is to ensure all those I prosecute are found guilty. Before the perfect proof, there can be no room for doubt. And to find that perfect proof, you would even stoop to forgery. Ha! I was wondering what you were going on about. You intend to accuse me of forgery, don't you? Yes. And it's for that reason you did not allow Detective Bad to investigate. Oh. What do you mean? The real reason Detective Bad wasn't investigating was not so he could keep an eye on us. It was to hide the fact that you never found the body. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, that still wouldn't work. I was going to say we found the body in the present, but that would be 18 years after this. In which case the body would be withered and all sorts. It would look a lot more gross. What? They never found the body. You cretins, you will cease with these ludicrous accusations. I will not tolerate any further insults. In that case, let us verify the body. If you do, we will have evidence that shows whether I am right or not. The burden of proof falls on you, defense attorney. I have no reason to comply with your baseless conjecture. Captioned. You must have noticed it too, the lack of bloodstains at the crime scene. So why did the blood vanish? And more importantly, where did it go? Foolishness. Why would anyone erase just the blood in the chest that contained the body? Yes, that's exactly right. If the body had been found there, the disappearing bloodstains would have no meaning at all. However, what if the body was already gone? To erase the traces of the body being there, one would have to get rid of the bloodstains as well. Why make such a fuss over those bloodstains? It seems like a trivial detail to me. Or are you saying that you can show me where those bloodstains went? In court, everything must be said with evidence. Isn't that right, Von Karma? In that case, I'll show you the evidence supporting my claim. Which piece of evidence shows where the blood in Mr. Master's room went? I wonder. Wait, where was it? Oh, it's that. Okay. Found in the fountain water. Whoop! Take that. Perfect. There were traces of the victim's blood found in the fountain. Uh-oh, he's sweating. Traces of Mr. Master's anised blood chocolate were also found in this very fountain. In other words, the blood was washed down the stream, which then flowed into the fountain. All of this points to only one possibility. After the body was removed, someone erased the bloodstains. Oh. Von Karma, where was the body really found? If you really found the body, you should be able to answer. How do you know this information? How do you know the results of the water composition test of the fountain? Because I allowed them to investigate. Bad. Always a thorn in my side. From here on out, I will not allow you to associate any further with this case. It's not like you were letting me do much anyway. Von Karma, you still haven't answered my question. Or, are you admitting to the fact that you didn't find the body after all? Tisk tisk tisk. You say I never found the body. Where is your evidence? He's never going to confess. I have nothing further to say to you, Gregory Edgeworth. This matter will be decided in court. We'll see just how well your logic holds up there. To be fair, the breakdowns there aren't really all that many in this. Like in the investigation games. The people that usually have a breakdown are the murderers, and that's basically it. That's the only people that have breakdowns. Von Karma, I know your methods are wrong. I promise, without fail, I will expose the truth you've hidden. Although I do find this incredible. The fact we get to play as Edgeworth's father is just real cool. Alright. Detective Bad, I'm sorry. It's because you let me investigate that. No, this was bound to happen. Sooner or later. This is also the first time I have been restricted in my investigation. Your theory that they never found the body sounds pretty close to the mark. That I will make clear in court. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Even though I'm no longer in charge of this case. Then, though I'm very sorry about this, I have one more favour to ask of you. Actually, wait. I just realised, the people in the Ace Attorney games that have breakdowns, it's always only the killer. Yeah. I've only just realised. For some reason I thought like just NPCs or whatever would have breakdowns. No, it's always the murderers. Man, cool. By the way, then, though I'm very sorry about this, I have one more favour to ask of you. Hey, what are you guys whispering about? I want to know too. This will be my trump card in court. The information I've gathered up until now should be enough to prove Mr. Master's innocence. But, if all else fails, I'll have this ready. Your trump card. You'll see at the trial. Wow, I get to be at the trial too? Of course. You are my assistant, after all. I'll be an Ace Attorney too next year. Von Karma will never beat the two of us. Right. Although I hope to clear Mr. Master's name before you become a lawyer. If Von Karma is to be my opponent, he'll want the trial ended in a day. That's right. We have to save Master Jeff as fast as we can. After all, this is you we're talking about. I'm sure you'll beat Von Karma. How? I'm really curious as to how this is going to end. Jeff Master, alone in a dark cell, arrested on false charges. I must expose Von Karma's lies if I am to save him. God, can you imagine if we actually get to do one of those trials? That'd be awesome. Like an actual, like, court trial. Like the previous games. Bum. Okay, it's been an hour and 45 minutes. Do I just finish the case? Or will it take too long? I really don't know. Oh yeah, God, we're back in the present. Jesus, it's confusing. So, what's just happened in the present day is we found a body in the fountain. And with all this reading, I need to make sure I have drinks. Right. Let's go. And that's all Uncle Ray knows about the IS-7 incident. So that's what happened in my father's last case. The truth of the IS-7 incident. What happened at the trial? In the end, Von Karma defeated us. Okay. So that's actually the end of their case, I guess. So you couldn't prove Mr. Master's innocence? We had gathered plenty of evidence to prove it. But Von Karma was even more despicable than we thought. He was. A prosecutor who would do anything for his guilty verdict. That's right, and he really did use any means necessary. Because of this, the trial dragged on for about a year, until it finally reached a conclusion. I'll never forget that fateful day, when the judgment was passed down, the 28th of December. The protagonist of this game is Edgeworth. For the most part, you play as Gregory, but it's only in one case, I think. But the investigation games you always play as Miles Edgeworth. It's still part of Phoenix Wright, yeah. They're side spin-off games, I suppose. You've got Ace Attorney 1, 2, and 3. So like Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations in the first game. And then you have Investigations 1 and 2. This was never released in the West. It was fan-translated, so this is a fan translation, which is incredible. It's actually called Gyakuten Kenji 2. And essentially the reason I'm playing these before Apollo Justice is because I looked up the timeline of the games, and it basically goes Ace Attorney, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations, Investigations 1, Investigations 2, Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies, Spirit of Justice. I'm pretty sure the Great Ace Attorney falls probably before all of these, but never mind. I'm doing that last because it's not translated. Oh, it's not working currently. Either way, I'll never forget that fateful day when the judgment was passed down, the 28th of December. But the investigation games are really good. Like, really good. It's actually cool to be able to move around, and not just... It's more than just a visual novel at that point. It's April now, so it's been a little over 17 years. How time flies. The 28th of December, 17 years ago. I was watching from the gallery that day. Wasn't the 28th of December also the time for the DL6 incident? That was the 28th, was it not? Or was it the 29th? It was in December, I remember that much. Why is it always in December? Before the trial, your old man noticed that Mr. Master was acting strangely. He was at the breaking point, both mentally and physically. He wanted to be found guilty. No, Mr. Master didn't fake a confession, did he? Yeah, that was what Von Karma was aiming for from the start. Oh. When your old man tried to expose the fact that the body had not been found, Von Karma used the power of his police cronies to quash that argument. He even went as far as to prepare a fake autopsy report. Wow! Then they made Mr. Master give a false testimony and confess to being an accomplice. With Mr. Master's confession, the situation quickly became dire. But your old man had a trump card up his sleeve. Detective Bad? Hey! What was the trump card he was talking to Detective Bad about? Oh, that was probably what he said. Yeah, that trump card was to be our insurance, in case Mr. Master confessed. Oh, right. The Ace Attorney that's on Xbox One is... It's basically the trilogy, so you've got Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. Altogether, you've got about 70 hours worth of a game from all of those. They're all fantastic as well. To be fair, the main character for Phoenix Wright has always been, or for Ace Attorney, has always been Phoenix Wright. Aside from, I suppose Apollo Justice is when it kind of goes off, and then Dual Destinies you have 3. I think it's 3 protagonists, and same with Spirit of Justice. So he had asked Detective Bad to have Mr. Master's interrogation recorded. Detective Bad wanted to know the truth too, huh? After he was dropped from the investigation, he never stopped caring about the case. Even when he was involved with other large cases, he really was the definition of a true detective. Oh, look at him! The defense presented the recording which proved that the confession was forced. Well, it seems the detective in charge of the initial investigation and interrogation, Rip Laser, took all of the blame and was charged and dismissed. Still, at the trial, your old man exposed Von Karma's corruption, and Von Karma received his first penalty from the then Chief Prosecutor. So that's what caused him to bear a grudge towards Gregory. The only penalty in his 40 years of prosecution, which is what led to the death of Edgeworth. However, Mr. Master didn't want the trial to continue any longer, and the curtains closed on the trial that day with the verdict of guilty. My memory of the time is fuzzy, but I was also there, watching my father's final trial. And I think his final regret became my own. Your old man wanted a retrial to prove Master's innocence, but he passed on before he could fulfill his wish. After getting entangled in another case. The DL6. Hey, there it is. It breaks my heart even now, but I didn't return home with him that day. And what's more, to blind myself from my own worthlessness. Uncle Ray put all of his hatred on you as a traitor for being Von Karma's pupil. Oh wow. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's natural you would hate me. After I became a prosecutor, I was able to get Von Karma to show me the case file. Mr. Mercer was found guilty for the murder of Isaac Dover. That's not right. Wasn't Mr. Master found guilty of being an accomplice? But this case file says guilty of murder. There shouldn't be anything unresolved in the cases handled by Manfred Von Karma. Wait, can I take a look at that file? It looks like the charges have been rewritten. What? Look at this. Jeffrey Master, 39, creator of dessert contest. The victim's body was found inside a dessert made by the suspect. This led to his arrest in jail. He was diagnosed with gozia, and he was treated by medicine. After his own confession, he was an accomplice to the murder. The charges, accomplice to murder. Convicted as an accomplice to the murder. This is a copy of the original case file I received from the courts. Why would the charge be altered? This file was given to you by Von Karma, right? Maybe he just didn't want you to know the truth. Since you're Gregory's son. He would have wanted to avoid another retrial before the statute of limitations ran out after all. So what I had come to believe back then had all been a lie. If you didn't know about it, just make sure you know it from now on. The statute of limitations has long expired, but the truth still sleeps right here. After your old man passed away, Uncle Ray took over as Mr. Master's defense attorney. Although Von Karma also had another prosecutor take over the case. Perhaps he thought that since his opponent was a rookie, he didn't even need to turn up. In the end, the real killer was never found, and Mr. Master was found guilty. No. Is there nothing we can do, even now? Since the killer was never found, he can't withdraw his confession. I found out after the trial that Mr. Master made a deal with Von Karma, because Von Karma had threatened him. Of course. If you don't confess, Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges. That's terrible. I don't think Mr. Master really thought that Kate was the killer, but to protect her, he faked a confession. Miles, on the day that Knightley Boy was killed, why do you think Uncle Ray was at the prison? Ah, I see. You went to see Mr. Master, didn't you? I said I'd visit him every day. I couldn't keep that promise, but I asked Katie Pie to look in on him for me when I couldn't. Through rain or snow she went, every single day without fail. But nothing has changed, and Mr. Master still serves his punishment. Jesus. 18 years, even though he was completely innocent. Shit, that's so sad. Isn't there anything we can do? Shrug. That's why I came here. Because I knew those ice sculptures would be on display here today. So, what are you going to do, Miles? I think I like Ray's theme more than anybody else's. It's just so good. Just listen to it. Oh god, it's so good. I'm a prosecutor. My position is different from you and my father. Miles. But, moving past my position, what I want as Miles Edgeworth is to know the truth of these two cases. It is for that reason that I am here. You really are your father's son. Well then, if that's what you've decided, I'll support you all the way. I'd better leave the IS-7 documents and evidence with you then. Alright, here are the documents. By the way, the parts in orange are Uncle Ray's old notes. Okay. Case files received from Shields. Parts in orange are Shields' notes. Touch the check button for details. Thank you. And now, here's the IS-7 evidence. There's a lot, so make sure to look it over while you investigate. Received a lot of IS-7 evidence from Mr. Shields. Right. I'll check through it later. Anyway, there are so many strange things about this case. Indeed. Those involved in the case 18 years ago have reunited, and another incident occurs. Replicas of the statues from 18 years ago were displayed in the Winter Palace, and poison gas was released in the Autumn Palace, which had been disguised as the Winter Palace. The two chemicals in the Pisces case, normalium and fatalium, were mixed, causing an outbreak of poisonous gas, or poison gas. The victim of the poison gas was Dean Gustavia, a person involved in the IS-7 incident. Because he was unconscious, he received treatment in the Zodiac Art Gallery's infirmary. Finally, the dead body found floating in the fountain. Who is it? It looked like Dover. And once again, the ice sculptures have melted. Like, that looks like Dover's body, but I don't think it is. Bloody hope not. There are deep connections between the two cases. It's possible there are still some clues left from 18 years ago. Right, let's get started. Ah, fuck the best. Of course. Just 1 second. Don't tell me you've forgotten about me. Didn't I tell you that I'm the one in charge of this case? Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you intend to continue disrupting Sebastian's investigation, she'll bring the hammer down. The word guilty will be added to your PIC report. What does she mean, guilty? Please allow me to assist you in your investigation as before. I appreciate your proposal, but I'm afraid I must overrule it. That was fast. Even though we're short on hands to identify the victim right now, it's only a matter of time until we figure it out. In that case, I shall take that load off your shoulders at once. Regarding the identity of the unidentified body, one person comes to mind. Really? Then tell us. Very well. It's not just the sculptures that have made a comeback from the incident 18 years ago. The body in the fountain, No fucking way! No fucking way! Whoa, it's Jeffrey Master. How? Oh, I shouldn't laugh. Just looking at the age, that made me chuckle. Age, dead. Oh, God. I still don't see how would his body have lasted for 18 years. There's no way it would have. Unless it was... what happens to a body if it's submerged? Like, if it's underwater for a prolonged period of time? Would it cause it to not decompose? Because isn't it the air that causes shit to decompose and stuff? I don't really know. Talking out my ass. I don't see how that's a thing, or how that's possible. But sure, whatever. It's likely that the identity of the body is the victim of the murder that occurred here 18 years ago. Isaac Dover. Huh? It's Icy's body? Hey, who's that? I've never heard of him. Mr. Isaac Dover. A truly great sculptor. But he was better known as Pierre Hoquet. The sculptures on display here in the museum are all his creations. Ah, so in other words, that sculptor was the best. Somehow, I feel a strong kinship to him. And he was the victim in the IS-7 incident. She knows. She knew about the IS-7 incident? Prosecutor Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident occurred 18 years ago. And what's more, the police reported the removal of the body. That's what's on the record, but I wonder if that really is the truth. What are you saying? The defense attorney in the IS-7 incident claimed that the body was never found. Not that the prosecution would ever admit to such a thing. Okay. A phone be ringing. What? Hello? Really? Is something wrong, Sebastian? No, it's just... they said that they know who the victim is. And it's Isaac Dover. It's just as that prosecutor says. It's Dover. No, it can't be. It would seem my father's suspicions were correct. What is it, Judge Courtney? Have you finally realised that I'm much more helpful than Mr. DeBest? Hey, are you trying to steal DeBest's position for yourself? I'm doing no such thing. I just want to know the truth. And for that to happen, we need to cooperate, no? The truth is none of your concern. Oh, I really like Ray's voice. It just sounds so good. I don't think that's true, Courtney Pie. You again. Uncle Ray assisted the defense attorney involved in the IS-7 incident. The one who claimed that Mr. Dover's body was never found. The prosecution denied it at the time, but now the body has been discovered here. In other words, the IS-7 investigation was unjust. And isn't it the duty of the PIC to investigate corrupt prosecutors? Then wouldn't you want to cooperate with those who were involved in the case? Unless you have an ulterior motive. Oh wow. Now that I think about it, Judge Courtney knew about the IS-7 incident, so it seems she really is here because of the PIC. Even if you're related to the incident, I don't see how Prosecutor Edgeworth is. He's Gregory Edgeworth's son. There we go. He is the son of the attorney in that case, and a prosecutor taught by Von Karma himself. And what's more, he was in the audience at the IS-7 trial. I'm sure there are many points he can enlighten us on. Very well. I will allow you to cooperate. However, your investigation must not hinder the other investigators. The Winter Palace is currently being investigated, but the Fountain Patio is open to you. That's my Courtney Pie. Now we're talking. As thanks, I will allow you to have a hug with Uncle Ray. Overruled. Oh man. If I feel your cooperation isn't needed, I will have to ask you to leave. Understood. Ah, isn't that great, Miles? Now we can start investigating. You really helped us there. Uncle Ray did it all for himself. Right, do I actually get to investigate now? Alright, Uncle Ray's going to investigate too. So let me know if you figure something out. Got it. Oh, there he goes. There he goes away. Boom. Right then. Okay, let's investigate let's begin the investigation. Okay, let's do this. We still don't know where Mr. Dover's body and the Normalium were hidden. We don't have enough information to go on. You're right. Our first priority is the Normalium. Well, Normalium is used in washing detergents, paints, and the like. If I recall, it's a red liquid with a minty aroma. So minty aroma, Normalium is a red liquid with a minty aroma. Okay! Well then, let's get looking for that Normalium. Alright. I should probably look at all the evidence I have too. Oh, it's not even all that much. Contains the recipe for the drug that will cure the taste disorder. There's only finger marks behind in Mr. Master's room, no fingerprints were found. Photo of the murder weapon in the IS-7 incident, stained with Dover's blood. Photo of Gustavia. Dover and their sons, Gustavia's son, always came to visit up until the finals. Okay, nothing new. Whoa. Whoa. Why is my game in slow-mo? What happened? Is mine like... Oh man, I'm playing in slow-mo. Oh bloody hell, what's happening? I don't know, but OBS is taking up even more stuff. Oh boy, this is bad. Oh, I didn't want to do logic. Okay, this is really bad. OBS has like spiked. and I don't know why. Ah! God, tech difficulties are the fucking worst. I'm just gonna save state and maybe reset. I don't fucking know what to do. Shit. What state was I on? It doesn't fucking matter. Save state. God, why is that? Oh god, I don't like it. Ah! Everything's like really slow. This is bad. There. Maybe. Can my computer go back to being normal? For some reason, OBS is like absolutely fucking spiked. Not good. I'll see if it's still in fucking slow motion. If it is, I'll have to just end the session. And I think it's gonna be. Yeah, it definitely does not seem good. Yeah, we're in slow-mo. There's no way I can play the game like this. OBS has decided to fuck me, I guess. And the worst part is I can't restart OBS, unless I want to restart the stream. Fuck. What can I do? Screw it. I guess I don't have a choice. I'll have to call it at the end of the session, sadly. I'll finish this case next session, I suppose. Unfortunately, I've had to stop it in a really awkward place, though. Oh well, can't really be helped, unfortunately. And that's going to be the end of this session, sadly. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. And until next time, take care. I really hope the recording's not broken.